Hi everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and today we're going to be talking about my current works in progress. Excuse the penny pasta, I don't have a hoodie on, so she's slipping and sliding everywhere. I am sure she will get down at some point during this video. I recently started 2 new works in progress. I thought I would do a video detailing them, so let's start with the first one, which is Invisible Series Book 4. So this is called Opaque. For those wondering, the Invisible series is a young adult dystopian / sci-fi, and the basic premise is this. The UK is split into 9 self-governing segments. There's open trade between the segments and all seems to go well for everyone. Children go to school and sit the exit exam, which determines where they go to work. Only those with disabilities usually fail the exit exam and end up in further training, which no one really knows what that entails. Jonah and Zaya live in separate segments, with Jonah in Northwest and Zaya in Southwest. Bombs are dropped on both of those segments, containing a virus that kills anyone over the age of 35 and changes the makeup of the survivor's DNA and body to the point where everyone who wasn't disabled is now disabled. People who were already disabled in some way weren't affected by the virus at all, beyond maybe a cold-like symptoms. The segments are both on their knees with so many dead and so much damage from the air raid and nowhere to turn. The story plays out in 3 other books, and Opaque is the 4th and final one. When I was doing the planning for Visible, I wasn't all that sure if there would be a 4th book. However, looking back and seeing how I wrote my minimal plan, I must have known on some level given how I planned to end it. So now that I've started the 4th book, I'm actually finding myself glad that I did it this way. Opaque picks up a few days after the end of Visible. I can't give too many details because of huge spoilers, but Zaya and Jonah are still trying to find an answer to the problems they're facing. They've both lost a lot and have been pushed into a mission that neither one of them wants. The promise of hope is almost a dangerous thing, and I love exploring this. I feel very much like they have both grown and changed since we met them in Invisible. Jonah has had a lot to adjust to, a life to call his own, and more losses than he can count, while Zaya seems to have hardened a little to the world around her. Neither one can be blamed for this, it's the nature of the beast, but I'm very happy to be in the thick of it and getting to the point where I can see the story coming to a resolution in the coming months. I will be sad to see the series end, but glad that it brings it a step closer to all you guys getting to read it. I recently sent another chunk to my CP and she's over the moon with how the story has progressed, so I'm super happy about that. And on to my paranormal romance standalone, which is called I'll See You Through. Really, Violet, do you have to? I had the idea for I'll See You Through at the beginning of the year. I was still knee-deep in the Graham Chronicle series and Visible and wasn't really sure when I'd get to it. I was so happy to finally be starting a brand new book with brand new characters, and that hasn't worn off in the time since I started it in May. The story is about a 17-year-old girl, Alia, who wakes up one morning translucent. She has no idea what caused it, whether or not it's permanent, nor how to undo it. She's sitting her first year A-level exams in the coming weeks, and she's never really been one to do well with pressure. So now she's facing difficulty touching things and holding a pen to write. On top of that, it doesn't look like anyone can see her translucent state, but if she tries to touch someone, her hand will pass through them and they will feel the intrusion. Panicked about how she'll sit exams, worried about how to tell her friends, her parents, anyone, she finds herself a little isolated. And then she sees Freya, a girl she's seen before but never really gotten to know. And the thing about Freya is she's also translucent and she can see Alia is too. They both had to put their differences aside and start to work out what happened to them and if it can be changed, and along the way a little romance brews. I'm loving this work in progress so much. I wake up on days when it's days to write this and squee getting to play with Alia and Freya, getting to know them and further their story and romance. I'm completely solid on this being a standalone, which feels a little odd because the past few years every book has been part of a series or one series or another. But I'm nearing the middle and just loving where it's going and all that's happening with it. I can't wait to start sending out to my CP and seeing what she thinks. So there we have it, my 2 new works in progress, what they're about, what I'm doing and where I am with them. I only started them in May, so I'm coming up to the sort of like middle chapters like I said, and very much loving where they're going and enjoying exploring a new world with Alia and revisiting an old one with Zaya and Jonah. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to pre-order Dying Thoughts 8th Ending, and if you do pre-order, don't forget to check out the swag. All the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.